Hi there, welcome to Valdi. My name's Adam, I'm the sales director, and today we're going to show you how to adjust your 3D hinges. The first thing that you will find is when you open up your doors, we've removed the cover plate for ease of showing you, but normally you'll have a cover plate covering up all the adjustment mechanism. You'll need a Phillips screwdriver, and you'll just take off 2 screws, and that will remove the plate so you can actually get to your adjustment fixings that are in here. You'll notice by reading our adjustment guide, you'll notice that all of these screws are all numbered. Now, the first ones that you do not touch are these ones, top and bottom. These are the ones that actually hold the hinge onto the door, so you don't need to touch any of those. And the reason why you'll know that is because everything else is adjusted using an Allen key. First thing that you'll need to do is decide obviously which way you want to move the door. The first adjustment that I'm going to show you is moving the door up and down. So if the door is scuffing on the top of the frame, or is indeed maybe snagging on the actual sill itself at the bottom, you'll obviously want to raise or lower the doors. So we're going to show you how to adjust the door's height up and down. First thing you want to do is look for these dome-headed screws. These are what we class as the locking or fixing screws, and that is stopping the hinge from moving once you've adjusted the hinge. Obviously you'll need to slacken them off in the first place so that we can adjust it. So the first thing you do is literally just 1/4 of a turn, just slackening these off, just to make sure that we've got some movement or some tolerance for the hinges to be adjusted. Next thing you're going to look for are these 2 screws. These will adjust the doors up and down, and the simple way to remember it is that the bottom drops the door and the top lifts the door. Okay, so bottom down, top up. Okay, so what we'll do, for example, we want to lift the door. We need to slacken this off slightly at the bottom just so that there's not too much tension, and we're then going to go to the top one and we'll start to rotate or slacken as we need to. So again, using the Allen key, we can start to drop the door. Once we're in the position that we want, we'll then go back to the other one at the other end, and we'll just tension that just a little bit so that there's no play in there. We'll then go back to the dome bolts, and we'll then re-tighten these to make sure that these are in the locked position. Make sure that they're fairly secure. You don't need to over tighten them, but you should just sort of give them a good nip up so that they're holding nicely. Okay, so now we're going to adjust the doors basically left and right. So moving them towards the hinge or moving them towards the locking point. This is also what we refer to as heel and toeing a door. So what you'll look for, these points, these 2 Allen key screws, these are the ones that are going to actually adjust the door. And what they're doing is they're adjusting a plate inside the hinge. So they're pushing or pulling depending on whether you want the door closer or further away from the actual hinge point. So what you need to do is you're actually going to slacken off multiple screws. So you'll slacken off these fixing ones, same as before. So just give those 1/4 of a turn. And what we're also going to do is we're also going to just slacken these middle ones. Okay, you may need to slacken those off a bit more as you adjust the doors, but just first of all, just to give the hinge again a bit more adjustment. What you're then going to do is you'll adjust these evenly. So if you do 1/4 of a turn here, come back to this one and do 1/4 of a turn. Now, as you tighten it, that's going to pull the plate. As you slacken it off, it's going to move the plate outwards. It will obviously work in different directions. So we'll show you later about how this plate moves. But basically, as you tighten that up, that's actually going to pull the plate in towards the door, which is actually bringing it closer towards the jamb. Once you're done with that, again, going back to these, locking these screws off, and the same with the dome-headed bolts as well. and your door will now be in the fixed position, ready to be used. Okay, so the final adjustment, to be honest, it's very unlikely that you're going to need to do this. However, we'll show you the adjustment. Basically, slacken off the dome bolts again. And what we're going to do is, this is bringing the door closer to the stops or further away if you're trying to adjust it to get it to lock better. You'll probably need some assistance with this because it's not an easy, straightforward movement. But what you're actually now doing, that you've slackened off all of these fixing screws, is you're now able to actually push or pull the hinge, and that will move the hinge in or out closer so that we can actually bring it closer to the actual stop or move it away from the stop. But as I say, it's very unlikely that you're going to need to do that. If you do, it's probably worth giving us a call just to make sure that there's not any other complications that we need to look at. It's probably more likely to be something to do with the locking points. You've got adjustment actually on the keeps where the hook bolts drop into, and that's more likely to be easier to adjust than this one. Good luck, hope everything goes well, and if you need to, give us a call and we'll be happy to help. Thank you very much.
September we met, I could tell by your smile. You hadn't been with a good girl like me in a while. Yeah, you were impressed, couldn't leave me alone. Text me every time that you pick up the phone. And I had control in the driver's seat, but my hands are slipping off the wheel. Now the tables have turned, now I'm up all night. I'm picturing you acting like a fool. I'm on the other side.